Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Monster vs. Monster, a live stream on the D&D CR Exposed YouTube channel. This is me, Andrew, as always, commentating on a Monster vs. Monster battle. And this week we have something a little bit different. We're going under the sea. I would have done the Sebastian the Crab from Ariel, or, the one Disney movie there. I lost the name of it, but didn't feel like really singing all that much. So, thanks for joining. As always, let's just get this business out of the way. The virtual tabletop I'm using is Foundry. I love Foundry. I used to use Roll20, which was great for our online needs, but then I found out about Foundry, and I haven't looked back since. So many things you can do with Foundry, it's fantastic. The battle map in front of you is by Ches and Peku. I still don't know how to pronounce Chez's name, so I'm going with CZE. Ches sounds good to me. No special unique tokens this week, although I could have had a couple for the Sahuagin. Sadly, I didn't have the time and I left my computer off by accident today, so I didn't have a chance to prep for much and had to throw everything together quick today. And then, let's see here, what else do we got? Names were generated by fantasynamegenerator.com, and I think that's everything. None of these are affiliates. I'm a patron of Ches and Peku, as well as all the other battle maps I use for this, and some of the tokens and what have you here. So, with all that business out of the way, let's take a look at our combatants today. We are putting up the Sahuagin versus the Water Elementals, and for this I thought the idea would be that maybe the Sahuagin have learned about something in the depths of this cave here under the water, and maybe they're looking to grab whatever magics and powers are down in this cave, or this water system here that this giant sea creature died, maybe protecting or guarding or even attempting to go attack or go after something down in this hole here. So the idea is that the Sahuagin are traversing these depths and have found their way to this system here that lore or legend says there is a powerful relic that they are after. Little do they know that the entrance to this cave here is guarded by water elementals, as we'll see here in a moment. Cornucopia, hey, how's it going? Can't stay because I have an exam tomorrow, but saw the stream in my feed and wanted to say hi. Enjoy the stream and hope it's a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to stop by, and good luck with your exam tomorrow. I don't want to keep you. I know it's rather late where you are right now, so thanks for swinging by. So that's the idea for this battle here, that the Sahuagin are looking to claim whatever magics and powers are deep within this underwater cave system here. And on top of that, we have ourselves a little fun creature here. We have ourselves a goblin in the background, Frizz by the name. We were talking about in the last live stream, Monster vs. Monster, it would be funny to have either a kobold or a goblin trying to avoid being killed. And, Frizz is maybe here to do his own thing. We'll see what happens, what Frizz does, but he is an independent actor in this game of Sahuagin versus Water Elementals. So, with that, let's meet our combatants. We have Avalan and Puddles, our two Water Elementals that are currently technically hidden at the moment. And then for our Sahuagin, we have Jackrum, the Sahuagin Baron, Skakis, the Sahuagin Priestess, and then we have Gregris, Clampster, Gara, and Turt Lobster. And the two here are Sea Spawn, because I didn't want to throw in a whole load of CR1/2 Sahuagins just to fill up that CR10 battle that we have for the draft. Hey Wade, thanks for stopping by. Masters of the Depths. Maybe so, who knows. And then, as I said, we have a goblin back here with some snorkel gear on and somehow breathing underwater, these many depths here. And Frizz is his name, or their name, and we'll be doing goblin things, hopefully. Who knows, if they survive, maybe we'll see them in the future Monster vs. Monster games. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into round one here and roll some initiatives. There we go. Lost the word. So everyone's going into the combat tracker here and rolling these dice. Here come the D20s, folks. It's good to see that my computer doesn't terribly slow down, unlike the one time with all those 16 kobolds it was. So it looks like we have Jackrum going first, with Gara, the Sahuagin, next, two of our water elementals, and way at the bottom we have Frizz, the goblin, which is probably a good spot for him to be hiding. So because we have 3 hidden monsters here, let's go ahead and roll some stealth checks for them to see how they're doing all the way down here. We'll see Frizz first with his stealth check of a 5+, that's an 11. I doubt that's going to beat passive perceptions. So it looks like Frizz may be in trouble, as some of the monsters here, except for the sea spawn, can actively see Frizz maybe swimming up from the depths here. Who knows? Maybe Frizz got to the bounty and the treasure in these depths below. As for our water elementals, let's see what they get for their stealth checks. Skills, here we go. Stealth. Probably not the greatest, and definitely not with a 6 and 11. So they are definitely not hidden, and we will show them in battle here. So we've got that, and Frizz is definitely not hidden as well. So we'll go ahead and pop him up as well. Okay, so let's begin round 1. First up, we have Jokram here, the Sahuagin Baron, and let's just take a quick look at what he can do, or what they can do. They have Blood Frenzy, Limited Amphibiousness, and Shark Telepathy. Well, luckily for the water elementals, there's no sharks nearby at the moment, but they do have a multi-attack of 3 attacks, 1 with a bite and 2 with its claws or trident. Definitely going to be the trident when it comes up to that. I think what's going to happen first is that the Sahuagin Baron spots the elementals and calls for an attack, having one of each, the Sahuagin and the Sea Spawn, going for each of the water elementals down below, and then turns to eyeball Frizz and gives him that, you know, points to the eyes, points to the goblin. Hey, I see you, buddy. Josh D! Sweet, I hopped in at the perfect time. You certainly did. This is the very beginning, round 1. So Jokram is issuing commands and isn't really making a move at the moment. Okay, up next we have Gara. And Gara is... where we got? Gara's right here. So let's see here. How far can Gara move? 40 feet swim. Will that be enough to get there? It is enough for Gara to get over there and start attacking. Well, you know, orders are orders, so let's get right into battle here. And we will zoom in a little bit to see what happens with our elementals and Gara. Alright, targeting. Gara's going in for the attacks, and we have a multi-attack. Let's just double check what that is. And our multi-attack for the Sahuagin is 1 bite and 1 claw or spear. Easy enough. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our 1 bite and our 1 spear attack in. Against Puddles, our first attack is a 13+ for a total of 16 and 4 points of damage. Piercing damage to Puddles here. And it looks like it was reduced in half. That's interesting. Why was it reduced in half? Do they have some kind of resistances, it looks like? Immunities, damage resistances to non-magical physical. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is going to be tricky for our Sahuagin now that we know they're doing half damage on everything since they don't have magical weapons. Okay, following up, we have our trident attack as well. So let's see what happens here with the spear attack. That's going to be a 12+ for a total of 15 and 2 points of damage. Actually 3, which reduces down to 1 because of the resistances. And Gara calls out in Sahuagin language. What actually do they have for languages? Yeah, Sahuagin. In their Sahuagin language. They're resistant to our attacks! Be wary! And yeah, so that is Gara's attack. Moved and attacked. No bonus actions for Gara, so we'll move on to Avalan. And Avalan, seeing some adversaries up front here, has a 90-foot reach and is going to swim right up and probably whelm. Doesn't really want to whelm just yet, but who knows. Let's see here. What do we also have for our features? We have a multi-attack of 2 slam attacks. Might as well just, shred water right up there, half their movement speed, and goes up for the attack on Clamster. Alright, so let's switch our targeting to Clamster here. And Avalan's going to just go in for 2 slam attacks against this Sea Spawn. 15 base for a total of 22, and that's 15 points of damage. And Clamster is almost bloodied within 1 hit. This is a CR5 versus a CR1 here. The CR5 being the water elemental, and the CR1 being Clamster, our Sea Spawn. Followed up with a second slam attack. Let's see what happens to Clamster next. Ooh, almost a 20. Total 9 to hit. That's a miss by Avalon for the second hit, and good for Clamster, who is going to actually get an attack in, it looks like. And that ends Avalan's turn, although Avalan may want to back up a bit and maybe take the attack of opportunity and, you know, pull them back and try and trick them into the depths. Maybe that's something Avalan would like to do. They are, let's see here, what's their intelligence? Let's take a look at that. They have an intelligence of 5, so no, they have a very basic, you know, instinctual attacks. Let's see here, 2 times hit points, Josh D, for the elementals. Gonna be a tough fight for the sea spawn, that is for sure. With a 5 of intellect, they are instinct fighters, so all they know is go and kill. They're not really planning out attacks here and trying to lure creatures in, so they are just going to be brute attackers here. I've been learning a lot doing these battle tactics videos. If you could see me, I'm wide-eyed right now. Anyways, so that finishes up Avalan's turn, and Avalan will finish up there. Repeating myself, and Clamster gets a chance to go. So let us switch targets to Avalan here and have Clamster go. Clamster can do a multi-attack of, let's see here, 2 unarmed strikes and 1 Piscean and anatomy attack. Piscean? Piscean. We'll go with Piscean. That sounds good. And the Piscean anatomy, we can either take one, we can choose a roll, or we can do a d6 roll. So I think I might do a d6 just for the fun of it, although technically I could do a d3 as well. So first off, we got 2 unarmed strikes, and then we'll find out what the third attack will be against our water elemental here. First strike is a 6 base, total of 10. That is a easy miss on the first attack. Second unarmed strike is going to be a 4 base with a total of 8. Again, these attacks completely miss, but Clamster is going to reposition just a little bit to get into a way for flanking for Greris here. And then goes in for our final attack. So let's do a d3 here and figure out what the Piscean attack is going to be. So we're going to do 1 d3, and we get a 3. All right, so that is going to be the anatomy of tentacle. So we're going to try for the tentacle attack, and that is a miss with a total of 6 to hit. Unfortunately, Clamster got rocked from that first slam attack and just dazed, you know, stars tweedling around Clamster here, and is unable to make and land a hit. All right, up next is going to be Turt Lobster. Turt Lobster is going to, let's see here, move or swim a total of 30 feet and can't really get too much further. So maybe Turt Lobster is going to just take the advantage and go after Avalan instead, and then try and meet up with Gara next turn. So this would be the better option here, and swims over and will also try to make some attacks on Avalan. So let's see here. First off, we have our unarmed strike. Again, this is a CR1 trying to hit a CR5 and misses with a total of 9. Second unarmed strike, 17 base. That is a hit for total of 21 and 4 points of bludgeoning damage, which is reduced in half as they are trying to hit underwater here, folks. This is not going to be easy. Piscean, yes, question mark. Like the adjective form of the word Pisces. That's a new word for me. Today I learned. Exactly, Josh. That's what I'm saying. I think Piscean is probably the best way to put it. All right, now let's see what we get for our roll here and the attack. Okay, seeing that the tentacle attack from Clamster didn't work, Turt Lobster's going to try and hit with the poison quills here. So let's see how that works out. Ooh, that's a miss with a total of 7. Unfortunately, there is really no damage being hit on these creatures here, and unfortunately, the water elementals are really holding their own so far. Okay, that ends Turt Lobster's turn. Next, we have Puddles. And, well, Puddles has Gara right in front of him, so might as well. Gara's being targeted, and Puddles goes in for 2 slam attacks. Let's see what happens here. That's a total of 22 to hit, and we have 7 points of damage on our Sahuagin. Lost their name for a minute there. And Gara is hit pretty hard. And this is a follow-up slam attack for a base 6, total 13, which still unfortunately hits Gara, and that takes out Gara with a massive 15 points of damage. Puddles then moves on to the next and goes up, let's see here, we'll say 40 feet here to completely swarm the 2 sea spawns as he goes in for the next attack. Up next we have Skakis, the Priestess, and what is Skakis going to do? Well, initially, as I was looking at their abilities to do spell casting, I saw, hey, Bless might be helpful. Still think that could be helpful, but now that I'm seeing what's going on here, we'll see what happens. You know what? I'm still gonna do Bless. I think that's gonna be the best option here. We could also do Spiritual Weapon maybe, and get an attack out, but damage now or damage later? Who's it gonna be here? I think if we do Bless at the highest level, we can get a whole bunch of people blessed and then go in for an attack. Maybe not the smartest thing to do, but we'll see what happens. All right, so Skakis is going to move up just a little bit to get in range for everyone. And let's see here. Bless can target people how far away? Doesn't say the range. I can never remember what the range is on this. 2 seconds, folks, while I figure out the range real quick. There we go. Bless on the side here for my side thing. 30-foot range, okay. And at higher levels of second level higher, you target 1 additional creature for each spell slot above first. So we have first, second, and third, and I think I might want to go for 2 because I can get 3 initially. Yes, I want a total of 5. So that's what's going to happen here. Skakis is going to bless 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we'll do spell level 4 or 2 then, so that way she doesn't have to worry about. Never mind. We'll do spell level 3. Okay, so targeting everyone in this. Let's see. Can I? No, I'm going to have to do it differently. All right. Targeting everyone. Do elementals have the whelm feature? Is there a tactical justification for using it instead of just slamming? Yes, they do have the whelm feature. I was just waiting for targets to be closer, kind of like the sea spawn here, which was unintentional on my behalf. They were just going into making attacks. So the water elementals, probably Avalan here, will go in for the whelm next on these two unless there's a better option. Okay, so Skakis going in for a actually, let's just do it up here. Spells. We're gonna go bless. Oh, are you kidding me? You must have at most 3 tokens. All right, let's do it this way. Can I do it this way? No, it doesn't want me to do it this way. This is gonna be a pain in the butt. Okay. All right, then I will just use it regularly and give the bless to. Let's see here. These 3 are going to get blessed, the ones that aren't hurt too much. And we'll just do it at spell level 1, just to make things a little easier. Alright, bless. Yeah, if I do it higher, it's not going to target everyone. Cast the spell, consume the spell slot. Now those 3 are blessed. There we go. Oh, that's great to hear, Josh. These videos are always just as informative as they are entertaining. Well, I definitely like to hit both of those. Alright, so we have 3 blessed Sahuagin here, which are glowing nicely, which is kind of cool. And that is Skakis' turn. Skakis is going to move back another 15 feet and will continue concentrating, which should have been marked, I think. Let's see here. Did Skakis... Yes, okay, good. Skakis is concentrating. I just don't see the marker, which is fine. Okay, so that's Skakis' turn. Next we have Frizz. And Frizz is going to attempt to swim down a little bit. We're going to go over here to swim. And then he's going to attempt a hide check in the waters behind the bones here and maybe hide again from Jakram, because he is going to be a sneaky little goblin and try to steal something from Jakram. So let's see what happens here. Bonus action. Nimble escape to hide. Okay, so that's that. And then let me clear out some targeting here. Alright, and then after that, we're going to go for a stealth check and see if we can get something a little better than that, which is not going to help. And Frizz attempts to hide, but doesn't do that well. And for the bonus action of hiding, that didn't work. Still going to try and use the action once more to hide now that he's moved again. And, ooh, still cannot find a good hiding spot. The waters are just home to these Sahuagin, and Frizz is doing nothing but trying to hold out. Okay. So that's Frizz's turn, and last we have Greris. Greris is going to move up to, we'll say, here and go for a flanking position on Avalan. So Avalan is now flanked, and Greris is going to go in for the 2 attacks. So we'll target Avalan, and make our first attack of a bite, and then follow up with a spear. Okay, with the bless on top, we have a 16 to hit, and that's a total of 5 points of damage. A big hit, but unfortunately with that resistance to non-magical damage, it's reduced to a 2, and we follow up quickly with a spear attack. Oh, not now, cat, not now. Oh, and unfortunately, even with bless and advantage, Greris misses with the spear attack, and that is the end of Greris' turn. Okay, so... end of round 1. We've lost 1 Sahuagin so far. Let me update on the tracker here. If I get the right group, we are down 1 Sahuagin. 5 left to go. Top of round 2. Round 2, we have Jakram going here, and sees Frizz making some eyes, but since Frizz hasn't done anything aggressive, Jakram's going to move up and start attacking. And since, you know, they're pretty smart, he knows what's going on. He's gonna swim over to here and flank as Puddles as well, and go in for a couple attacks here. Might as well help out the group. Okay, so Puddles is flanked. We have Jakram going with 1 bite and 2 claw attacks, or trident attacks, if I remember correctly. The Sahuagin makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite and 2 with its claws or trident. Perfect. Okay, Puddles is technically bloodied, or has enough for the frenzy to go, but because we are in flanking, they're going to get advantage anyway, so we don't have to worry about the blood frenzy from our Sahuagin here. So first off, first bite at advantage with Bless. We have a total of 30. That is a critical hit for 17 points of damage, but because of the resistances, it's dropped down to 8, and Puddles is barely wounded here. We're going to follow up with a trident attack and see what happens on this one as well. We have a total of 30 this time. How did we not crit? If we had a 30 here, 20 plus all that. Because of yeah, alright, never mind. Because of the blessed dice, that's why. So we have a trident hit for 10 points of damage, and that is 5 reduced because of resistances. And then we follow up with 1 more trident attack. This is just going to be an all-out brawl here, folks. 25 total to hit, and 11 more points of damage, reduced to 5. Puddles is starting to feel the effects of being attacked by a big boy, Jakram, here. And that is it for Jakram's turn, and we will end there, as Jakram has no reason to flee the battle at this moment. Up next would have been Gara, but that isn't going to happen. And then we have Avalan. And let's see here. Avalan is going to move in and whelm, but that's going to trigger a reaction attack from Greris. So, Greris is going to take an attack of opportunity and try and hit with its spear attack. And that's a 15 to hit. Does hit indeed, but only deals 1 point of damage, as the reaction at least does something. And then, excuse me folks, the water elemental moves on and goes in for a whelm. Alright, with those 2 targeted, let's get the whelm going here and see what happens. Consume the ability. That is, let's see here. Turt, Lobster, and Clampster both failed their strength saving throws of 15 with a 7 and a 3 respectively. Dealing, and Avalan deals 14 points of whelming damage. Now, the funny part is, they're sea creatures, so they aren't going to be drowning, but they are restrained and whatever else goes along with being whelmed. So, let us double check the whelm here, and they are grappled and restrained. Until this grapple ends, the target is restrained. Okay. Unable to breathe unless it can breathe water, which it can, and then if the saving throw is successful, the target is pushed out of the water elemental space. The elemental can grapple 1 large creature, or 2 medium, or 4 small creatures at a time. Each target grappled by it takes 13 bludgeoning damage. A creature within 5 feet of the elemental can pull a creature or object out of it by taking an action to make a strength save. Okay, so start of each of the elemental's turns, the creatures within are going to take extra damage. Alright, cool. So I'm just going to leave them there for now because they are being whelmed at the moment. And, oh yeah, I actually have to give them the restrained context here. Restrained. So both of them are restrained now, are sea spawn, and they are being whelmed. Okay, that is the end of Avalan's turn, although Avalan could move further. Yeah, and actually we'll probably do that. So Avalan's going to move them with them, and we will go ahead and start pushing them down, as they might, you know, we'll just say because restrainment and whatnot, they're going to get moved down to here. And since they're being moved by other means, Puddles is not going to get an opportunity attack. They're not being moved by their own volition. Alright, clear out all that. Oh, I don't mean to bring that back up. And we go into the next attacks of Clampster and Lobster here. So they are both restrained and can make attacks on Avalan inside, but they're going to do so at disadvantage. But they can also try to break free if they want to. And let's see here. What is their intelligence? Intelligence is pretty low. They have a decent wisdom, so they probably know enough to want to escape and survive. So let's take an even under here. We'll do a roll 20 and a d20 here and decide, you know, high, low, or we'll do odds and evens just because I like to make an even here. So odds, they will attack. Evens, they'll try to break out. So sea spawn number 1 is going to attack. All right, at disadvantage here. Okay, and I need to. There we go. Perfect. Oh, excellent. That brought that up. Okay. Just one more thing. All right, perfect. Going in for the attack now. We have one unarmed strike against Avalan. Oh, and that's a crit fail, which misses entirely, and understandable. Although it didn't roll at disadvantage with the restrained on there, so I'm going to have to do that myself. And roll at disadvantage, which once again did not roll at disadvantage. That should have rolled at disadvantage. Okay, well, let me do another d20 roll real quick and see which one was lower. Oh, every time. There we go. Roll. Okay, that's an 8, so we will retroact the damage here. And that was a complete miss with the 2 and 2 as well. So that's not going to hit at all. Okay, so that's Clampster's turn. Clampster is also going to make one more attack with their Piscean abilities. And we'll roll a d3 to see which one they use. And that's going to be number 3. So once again, he's going to go for the tentacle attack and see what he can do against Avalan. And the Piscean attack, tentacle attack, and should have been at disadvantage. Roll, let's just go and do this here. We'll do one more roll. And that's a 2. Okay, definitely a miss. Not going to happen. Okay, and revert that damage. Perfect. Turret Lobster's next, and Turret Lobster's also going to do the odds evens to decide if they're going to break out or attack. Let's see here. 17 is also going to attempt the attack as well. All right, so let's see how Turret Lobster does instead. Josh D, I have this issue with Foundry sometimes. Getting the VTT to roll with advantage or disadvantage can be buggy sometimes. Yeah, well, I am using these features up here, but if I hold Control or Alt while I roll, it's supposed to do advantage and disadvantage, but it's just not for some reason. I don't know what the deal is. So I'll bring up the main sheet here and see if that does anything different. As our sea spawn, Turret Lobster goes in for 2 attacks as well at disadvantage. So let's see here. Yeah, that still did not roll at disadvantage. But let's see here. That was a 7. Let's roll one more d20. Or did it? No, it didn't. Okay. One more roll here. And okay, so that will miss. Or that still does what it did. Surprisingly enough. Okay. One more unarmed strike. 13, and let's see here. D20. And a 10, I believe that will still hit with the 2, 2, and the D4. So that's, what? 3. Yeah, that'll definitely hit for sure. Okay. Oh, wait. No? No, I don't know why they're... Oh, because now I know why they're rolling 1. He's not supposed to be flanked. That's the problem. Let me get rid of the flanked because he's no longer flanked and should be rolling at disadvantage. Everything's working accordingly. I was the one not paying attention to the flanked condition still. Speaking of which... let's get flanked off of him as well. Yes, there we go. Flanked. Perfect. Now they'll be rolling properly. All right, and lastly, the Piscean attack. What are we rolling for this one? Turret Lobster's switching it up with number 1 this time and going with the bite. Let's see how the bite does instead. Oh, wrong target. There we go. Okay. Bite attack, go! Disadvantage. Perfect. And that is a 16 total to hit, which does indeed hit for 3 damage, but reduced to 1 because of resistances. These are going to be long attacks here, unless things go badly or somehow very fortunate for the water elementals. Up next we have Puddles, and Puddles is going to... seeing how big Jokram is, knows he probably can't whelm Jokram, and is going to go and just continue slam attacking. Probably the best bet. And we'll go in for the 2 slams. Alright. 14. Actually, he could whelm if he wanted to. But do that next turn. Okay, 21 total to hit, 15 points of damage, goes in for a second slam attack and fails horribly with a 1 on the attack roll. The first slam comes in heavy, but the second follow-up uppercut just goes wide, sadly, as Puddles, our water elemental, does no damage and is going to shift a little bit. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, come here. We're going to have Puddles shift over here and is going to start making some eyes at maybe Skakis. Okay. So that is the end of Puddle's turn, and Skakis is up. Skakis is going to... do I want to get the... I really do want to get the spiritual weapon out. So I'm going to do that. Let's get the spiritual weapon out. And we will... Let's see here. Do that as a bonus action. Where's that hiding? There we go. Spiritual weapon. Perfect. And we'll place that... we'll place it right... here. And that's a 16. Who did I hit? I have no idea who I went and attacked. I forget about that. Okay, so 20 to hit and 8 force damage. So that definitely hits. I don't see it attacking anyone, unfortunately. So we will just apply the 8 total force damage here since it is magical. And the water elemental takes damage for the first time and sees this spiritual trident floating here. And what else can Skakis do? Skakis is actually going to float, swim back a little ways and keep the bless going on some of our the companions and allies. Up next is Frizz, and Frizz is going to go for the bonus action again and try to get the hide going. So Nimble Escape tries to do a hide check with stealth. And we get a 12 plus, that's a total of 18. That is definitely going to put him into hidden territory and starts moving very slowly. So, swimming, has no swim speed, is reduced, and is also swimming stealthily. That's going to be real slow. I'm going to say probably can only go with both actions and, you know, using an action and movement to swim. We'll probably only be able to swim to here and is targeting Skakis now for the movement. We'll see what happens next. All right, last up for round 2, we have Greris, who is going to shift over to here and take a flank on Puddles. All right, so Puddles is being flanked once again, and we have Greris going in for 2 attacks, a bite and a spear. Let's see how these work out with advantage. 19 base for a total of 26, and that is 4 points reduced to 2 because of that darn resistances. Alright, next up we have the spear attack, which we have a base 12 on both dice, and we have a total of 19 with 3 reduced to 1 point of damage. Hey, chipping away, it's still something, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I should say. And that is the end of round 2. No changes in combatants here. We still have all of our same ones from before. We have our elementals with 2, and our goblin, or not goblins, but our Sahuagin with 5, and our independent goblin actor still surviving so far. All right, top of round 3, we have Jakram. Jakram is going to continue the assault now that Puddles is once again being flanked, and will attack with the bite and 2 trident attacks. First bite attack of a base 8, total of 19 to hit, and that is 7 points of damage reduced to 3, and then 2 follow-up trident attacks. First one is a 16 base, total of 25, 14 more damage reduced to 7, and then a follow-up trident attack as Jakram is trying to hit with a critical hit on this second trident attack. We have total of 21 damage reduced to 10. That is still not enough to reduce Puddles to a bloodied condition, and may still be sticking around even though, even though they are doing some damage. It is just taking forever. Okay. That is the end of Jakram's turn. Jakram is going to hold out there and is going to move on to Avalan. Avalan is still doing the whelming thing here, and we will take a whelm recharge check to see if Avalan gets it back. Does not get it back, but because both of them are indeed still damaged, they're going to get the attack, or get the damage from being held within, and that is, let's see here, 2d8 plus 4 each. Okay. So, 2d8, where are we hiding? 2d8 plus 4. They are both going to take, ooh, that looks like 15 points of damage. Alright. So that is going to end up killing Clampster. And Turret Blaster is barely holding on, still whelmed in this position, but bloodied. And restrained. Okay. That is, let's see here. Avalan is going to then probably, with Turret Lobster here, going to swim over and make a slam attack against Jakram. So we'll move Turret Blaster there, or Turret Lobster. I keep wanting to say Turret Blaster, which is really funny to me. And is going to attack Jakram. Alright, so let's get our targets in place. And Avalan is going in for 2 slam attacks. And the first one is a 7 to hit, which misses Jakram. Followed up with a second slam attack of a base 19, which certainly hits for a total of 26. And we have 14 points of damage. Jakram is not feeling so hot. This is the top of round 3. The Sahuagin are starting to make eyes as one of the Sahuagin and one of the Sea Spawn are now down. We'll take this moment here to update our rankings. And we see that our Sahuagin are down to 4. They did have the advantage here with only 4, action economy from our water elementals and a bunch from our Sahuagin. But that damage resistance is really playing a factor here. Okay. Up next is we have Turret Lobster, who is still being whelmed inside of this creature, and we'll take another roll to see if they decide to attack or not. Again, odds will be that they attack, evens they try to escape. And it is odds. It's still going to be another attack. Even though they are bloodied, they are holding true to, working with their Baron. Okay. So let's move our attack over to Turret Lobster here. And then we will have, or not to Turret Lobster, but Avalan, and go in for 2 attacks. Okay, we have actually 3 attacks. An unarmed strike at disadvantage for a base 10, total of 18 to hit, and that is 6 damage reduced to 3. Another unarmed strike at disadvantage. Oh, and that's a total fail of a 1, unfortunately. And then our Piscean attack. And we'll roll a d3 here to see which one we get. And that's 2. Going in for the Quill attack as it did last time. Alright, Poison Quills. Let's see if this hits at all. Oh, definitely with a base 17, total of 22 to hit. 1 point of poison damage, but reduced to 0. Because unfortunately, our water elementals are immune to poison damage, I'm sure. Yes, damage immunities, poison right here. So, no damage whatsoever from the poison attack. Seeing this and how quickly the poison from the Quill attack just disperses, Turret Lobster thinks fondly on this and decides maybe this will not be an attack I try next turn, if I survive. Okay, up next is Puddles, who is still flanked and is going to go in for an attack on Graris. Smaller and easier to take out. We're going to switch focus to them and see what happens with this first slam attack by Puddles. Alright, first slam attack coming in. Base 19 to hit for sure. We have a second follow-up attack of 21. Both hit, but only wound Graris. And let's see here, that was 13. And did I get an attack roll or not for the second one? I don't remember. Let's see here. Let me revert the damage real quick. No, alright, so first one was a 13. And then I need to, we'll just roll again because I clicked too quick. And that is a base 18 to hit. And that is a whole bunch of damage, and Graris has been defeated. We are going to update our group information here again, and our goblins, goblins, our Sahuagin are down to just 3 members now, as the water elementals are certainly packing a punch and protecting whatever treasures and rewards are in the depths of this cave system here. Okay, so that is Puddle's attack, defeating the lowly CR1/2 Graris Sahuagin, and we move on to Skakis. Skakis, not having had any calls to retreat, is going to target Puddles, since Puddles is, well, unfortunately no longer flanked, but is looking pretty hurt. And Skakis is going to go for a spiritual, first we're going to do the spiritual weapon attack. So let's see here, we're going to do that, and we're going to spiritual weapon attack for, let's see here, we're not going to place either of those, we're just going to do the attack. And let's see here, yes, please attack. 9 to hit, 13 misses unfortunately, so the spiritual weapon does not land an attack on Puddles, which has an AC of 14. And Skakis then goes on to make a, let's see here, a guiding bolt attack, I believe I was looking for. Yes, Guiding Bolt. We're going to use this at our highest one. So, we're going to upcast this at 3rd level, since we have a bunch of spell slots available, and it's going to hopefully land that attack. Oh, it's a critical hit. Look at all those dice, folks. That is an insane number of dice. And Puddles is now spiritually, or guided bolted, and the next attack on Puddles is going to be at advantage. Okay, 46 points of damage. Since this was radiant damage and a bright flash of light crashes with Puddles, Puddles takes a massive amount of damage and is bloodied. Actually, in critical state from one attack. Massive, massive attack from our Sahuagin Priestess here. Amazing, folks. Okay, up next is Frizz, and Frizz is going to, let's see here, bonus action dash, and is going to move along even further. So we'll say probably can only get 15 feet. We'll continue skirting down, and we'll, let's see here, 15. Probably can only get to about here, and hiding along the walls, trying to go after Skakis. Nothing else can be done with Frizz at the moment, and we move on to Greris, who unfortunately moved on to the next life. Top of round 4, Jokram is looking at the situation here and probably not too happy with the way things are going. They are definitely losing, and I think Jokram is going to make the call to retreat and gather more troops to hopefully come at this next time. So Jokram is going to disengage from both of our water elementals here, being that he's in a bad position, and will start to swim away 50 feet. And it just leaves the sea spawn behind because, let's see here, Lawful Evil, yeah, Lawful Evil, definitely going to just leave him behind. Starts to swim away, and does the same call here. So let's see here, what happens next? We'll see how this goes. Actually, yeah, disengaged for the action, moved for 50, and that will be about it. Okay, up next is Avalan. Avalan has Turret Lobster here still whelmed, and we're going to apply a whole bunch of damage. D8 plus 4, I believe it was. 3d8 and plus 4. Okay. And Turret Lobster takes a whole bunch of damage, 20 points of damage, and is defeated. We are just down to 2 Sahuagin left here, folks. Probably a good call that Jokram is sounding the retreat, unfortunately. Alright. With Turret Lobster defeated, Avalan is going to take a look at who is closest, 35 and 50, and is going to move up and attack Skakis. Oh, and does a whelm check, actually, as well. Let's see here. Whelm check. Ooh, 3 does not have the ability to whelm once again, and goes in for the attack. Okay, let's see what happens here. Skakis is being attacked, and we go in for 2 slam attacks. Oh, wrong target. Okay, as always. Slam number 1. Wait. Oh, wronged 1. All right, there we go. Now we get the attack. 4 definitely misses our Priestess here, as the attack goes wide, and then a second attack from our Avalan Water Elemental is a base 19. Oh, that is definitely a hit. And let's see about a concentration check. And the concentration check succeeds with an 11. There was only, half of that, so it was a DC 10, folks. And the Bless is still holding strong, but for how long? That is 11 points of damage to Skakis. And Skakis is now, not bloodied, but taking the first bits of damage for this round here. Okay, Avalan has taken their turn. Up next is Puddles. Puddles has not whelmed anyone and is actually going to attempt the whelm to try and hold on to Jokram here. So we're just going to put Puddles here and is going in for the whelm attack. Because, they haven't reached the escape boundaries yet, for which the water elementals will no longer attack, we'll say. So we have a whelm attack on our Sahuagin Baron here. And let's see. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Ooh, that went to the wrong person. Okay. So we'll revert that there. That no damage to Skakis. And how did... Okay, so Jokram fails the strength save and is now restrained. This is not good for Jokram. Jokram was calling the retreat and is stuck inside of our water elemental. So let's get the restrained going here. Oh, darn it. Get that off of there. let's target the right person. There we go. Restrained. Okay, perfect. And dealt a whole bunch of damage, and Jakram is now bloodied, unfortunately. Okay. So, let us see here. Puddles is still being flashed with the guiding bolt attack and may benefit from, you know, trying to take out Puddles in the next round instead of fleeing. But is restrained, so we'll see what happens in a moment here. Skakis is up next, as they're going to disengage and start swimming away since the retreat call was sounded. Let's see here. 40 feet. We'll have that happen. Bonus action will move the spiritual weapon 20 feet, which will, well, let's not do that. What did I just do? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know how I did that. Okay, sure. I'll have to look into that one again. Oh, come on. Alright, there we go. I don't even know how I ended up doing that. Let's try this one more time real quick. Alright, so we're going to have the spiritual weapon move over as a bonus action and go in for the attack. And then let's see if that does anything. No. Alright, I don't know how that happened last time. That's very strange. Anyways, yeah, okay. So, Skakis. There we go. Target Skakis. We'll go for the spells. Spiritual weapon. Don't consume anything. Just do the attack. And let's see here. Oh, 3 does miss Avalan with the spiritual weapon, unfortunately. And that will be... Skakis still has one more action. Because the spiritual weapon was just a bonus action to activate. We do have a mass healing word here. And, yeah, we'll probably end up doing the mass healing word. How far out can we do the mass healing word? Gotta double check that real quick. Mass healing. And the range is 60 feet. Alright, perfect. So, we're going to target Jakram and Skakis. Skakis is going to use the mass healing. Do you want to use your bonus action this round, or do you want to proceed? Oh, wait. Is that a bonus action to do that? Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. I will retroact that bonus action attack from the spiritual weapon here and just use the healing, because that would have been more efficient. Yeah, we'll do that instead. Okay. And 5 bits of healing. Not much, but it's something. Okay, so let me put the spiritual weapon back, since I didn't realize mass healing word was a bonus action. Because I don't get to play I don't get to play characters all too often. And that will be Skakis' turn. Up next we have Frizz, and Frizz looks around at the area and decides, you know what, it's time to exit as well. And Frizz is going to swim deeper into the waters, completely disappearing. So we're just going to take him right out. Frizz is officially gone. And yeah, out of the tracker as well, as Frizz is waiting for things to cool down and will escape later. Okay, that is the end of round 4. We go to the top of round 5. Jakram is going to see about making one last ditch effort attack on the water elemental to escape, and then we'll start to leave if available, or if able, I should say. There we go. Okay, so we're going for let's go with the trident attack and really get the most out of that guiding bolt here on Puddles. Well, that still hits regardless, because it was a 9 and a 12, although it should have been even. So the attack will go through. That will be 11 points of damage. And the spiritual weapon is... Okay, that's good there. All right. And then we now have a second trident attack. And it looks like that's a miss, and then also a bite. Oh, bunch of misses here, as Jakram probably shouldn't have done that. Okay, up next is Avalan. Avalan is going to ignore Skakis, because Skakis has hit the range to exit, and is instead going to move over and start attacking Jakram. Inside, I don't think that can work, actually, because he's being whelmed at the moment. So, Avalan's going to move here to a threatening position and wait. So Avalan's going to go in for a recharge check on Whelm. And does recharge the Whelm. So that is available for when Avalan wants to do anything. And is actually going to go on a, we'll say, no, not smart enough to go on dodge. So it's just waiting and looking for maybe Skakis or someone else to be available to hit. Okay, up next is Puddles. Puddles is going to use the Whelm damage. And that's going to be 3d8 plus 4. And deals Jokram 19 points of damage. Heavy, heavy blow here. Jokram is in critical state and needs some kind of help to get out of here. Alright. And then, I guess, with the creature whelmed, I don't think he can really attack within. Can he attack within itself? That's a good question. Let's see here. The elemental can grapple one large creature up to 2 medium creatures at a time. Well, nothing says that they can't punch within themselves to really do this. So I'm gonna say sure. Jokram can totally, or Puddles can totally attack Jokram here, and slam attack the Sahuagin within itself, which is a really funny idea. But yeah, sure, why not? Slam attack number 1 at advantage. That's a critical hit, and that is a dead Jokram. Jokram falls to the first attack of the water elemental. And yeah, that will be the end for Jokram, the Sahuagin Baron. They rolled the dice and didn't succeed, and this is where we will end as Skakis sees what has happened and takes both action and movement to dash away 100 feet. And escapes to let everyone know what had happened to their great Baron, Jokram. And I'm going to call this one... Yeah, thank you, Josh. I think so, too. I'm going to call this a win for the Water Elementals. And it was definitely because of their damage resistance that they were able to defeat a, 3-to-1 odds here, I'd say. Alright, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. For another episode of Monster vs. Monster here on the D&D CR Exposed YouTube channel. I'm Andrew. You guys are awesome. Josh D, Wade Webster, Cornucopia. Thank you all for stopping by and watching and hanging out, chatting with me as we watched a bunch of monsters beat on each other. Will we ever find out what is just, hidden deep in the depths here? Maybe one day, but definitely not with the Sahuagin. They might have to muster more forces and figure out who's the next Baron and try again later. Also, never expected the Sea Spawn to make it to round 5. They did better than I thought. No kidding. Yeah, the resistance was brutal. Thanks again for a great stream. Thank you for hanging out and chatting, Josh. It was excellent having you here. Wade as well, and Cornucopia. Thank you so much. And if you're watching this after the stream is over and you've made it this far, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate everyone that watches these, and I hope you stop by for the next one. Thanks as always, and this is me, Andrew, asking the question, are your encounters even rated? Thanks everyone, and I will see you hopefully this Friday for the CR Exposed live stream at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks everyone, take care, have a good afternoon, night, or morning, wherever you are.